All right, today I'm going to show you how to make some tasty, basic, but easy flank steaks. That's right. I'm using my Weber Kettle Grill and I'm using them over high heat. That's right. We're going to do these babies on high heat. So these flank steaks can cook up really, really nice and have that nice charred flavor to them. Oh yeah, nothing like a good old flank steak. All right, so here we go. So the seasoning that I'm using today is the Santa Maria seasoning by Kinder's, and this stuff packs a really, really good amount of flavor. And if you've never had Santa Maria before, then you definitely want to give this a try. It has some really, really good flavor. All right, so these are the flank steaks that I'm using. Two of them are about a 1/2 inch thick, and one of them is a little bit thinner than that. But as you can see, these babies have a nice amount of fat on it, which equals what? Flavor. That's right. This equals flavor. So the first thing I'm going to do is season these babies up with some of this Kinder's Santa Maria seasoning. And you just want to make sure that you don't use too much because this does have a salt in it. So you don't want your meat to come out salty. So I recommend tasting the seasoning first by itself. So that way you can get a gist of, how much salt is in this. But I'm telling you, the flavor on this is amazing. So as you can see, I'm rubbing down the meat really, really good on both sides with a nice amount of seasoning because this is going to cook into the meat really, really well. So after I season the meat up, I'm going to put them on a plate and I am going to take these babies outside because that's where all the magic and flavor and taste is going to happen. That's right. Take these babies outside to my grill. The charcoal is ready. It's gray. It's hot. And I'm putting them in the center of the grill so that way I can cook the meat directly over the heat. That's right. Look at this. And of course, I have to clean off the grill so that way none of this charcoal and stuff gets all on the meat. So a little bit of scrubbing. And by the way, if you're looking for good grill accessories, then check out Grillaholics. It's a really cool site. They have some good seasonings and they have some good grilling products. All right, so I'm going to put the lid on. And after that, I'm going to let the heat build up for just a little bit. I'm going to halfway open the vents so the air can circulate. And now it's ready. The grill is hot. But first, I'm going to spray some of this canola oil spray on there so that way the meat does not stick to the grill. All right, time to put the meat on. There we go. That sound of sizzling, I love it. The smell of the meat cooking, I love it. That good old seasoning kicking up my nostrils. I love it. I love grilling. If you can't tell, it's one of my favorite things to do. All right, so now I let the meat cook over the direct heat. The heat is about 400 degrees, and I let it cook on each side for about 3 minutes. And you can kind of eyeball it. You don't want to cook the meat all the way through this way. You just want to char the meat. You want to brown the meat. You want to get that seasoning cooked into the meat really, really good. And after a few minutes on each side, it is time to take these babies and put them to the side. But let's give it a look real quick. Look at it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It smells so good. I'm happy about this. All right, and the kids are happy too because, they're standing next to me. You can't see them. But hey, they're waiting for me to cook. I throw the thinnest cut on top of the heat. And this is going to take probably about 2 minutes on each side. And then after that, I'm going to put that to the side. But for now, let's just look at the lovely meat. Look at it. Beautiful. Beautiful grilled flank steak. All right, so now that the thin piece has cooked for a few minutes and it's browned, it's charred up, I'm going to put that to the side. And then after I do that, I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to let the meat cook for about another 10 minutes on the side of the heat. That's right. So after 10 minutes, it is time to take the meat off of the grill. But of course, I have to show you how they look. Look at that. They are so juicy. All that flavor, all that Santa Maria seasoning on there. The char that's on the meat. This is going to have some really, 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 really good flavor. Look at it. Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, so enough talking about the meat. It is time to take it into the kitchen. And I'm going to let it cool down for a little bit. So I'm going to give it about 15 minutes to cool down because I don't want to cut into it just yet. I want those juices to go back into the meat. And I'm just going to separate them a little bit so they're not stacked on top of each other. because then it'll take longer for the meat to cool down. So I just sit them next to each other side by side so they can happily cool down. And after they cool down, it is time to do the other part. Oh yeah, and by the way, I meant to tell you, I'm going to make some flank steak tacos. That's right. So I'm using cabbage, and I'm also using some pico de gallo, nice chunks. I love pico de gallo. This stuff is so tasty. All right, and then I also take some pico de gallo and I put it in the blender. That's right. So I have 2 bowls of pico de gallo. I almost said it wrong. I have 2 bowls of pico de gallo, one blended and one not blended. All right, so it's time to slice into this baby and make some good old nice cuts. Now, when you're cutting this, you're cutting against the grain. You're cutting the opposite direction of the grain. That's right. So look at it. A nice medium well flank steak. Smells good, looks good. It is so tender. I love this. So I'm just cutting these babies up, and I'm going to make some flank steak tacos, Santa Maria style. Yeah, look at them. Tasty, beautiful, lovely. I'm excited about this. Now, if you don't want to make tacos, then you can also just make a couple of side dishes and enjoy the flank steak by itself. But I'm telling you, this Kinder's Santa Maria seasoning is amazing. And it is most of all tasty. It is easy to make. It is a basic cooking. It doesn't require a lot of skill. You just got to use this stuff right here, the Kinder's Santa Maria seasoning. And you can get it at Costco for a good price. You get a nice sized bottle of it at Costco. Yeah, but Walmart and other places sell it too. All right, so here's just a quick little way that I make my tacos. It's an easy way to do it. I'm using the street tacos. That's right. They're not big ones. They're small. They're just right. And a few of them will get you pretty full. So put my little shell down there, put some meat into this baby, and you can chop up the meat a little bit smaller if you want. I have some big pieces in here right here. It's just easier to work with. Then after that, I put some cabbage on top of it. Nice crunchy cabbage. And I put some pico de gallo on top of it. I'm not using cheese in this case, but there you go. Santa Maria tacos, flank steaks.